All right, all right, all right. It's showtime. Stop, Tremaine. That's my dog. She want to get on here. All right. Come on up in here. Grab it. Get it. Bring the coat, dope, and hope. Yo. Good. Hey, what's going on out there in YouTube land? Good Monday evening. It is Orange G, Swac Sports, and I am Orange G. Let's get this show started correctly. This was a weekend and a time to be in Swac football. We seen it all, baby. We seen the good, the bad, the ugly, them jitters, them jeers. We seen it all. It all came tumbling down for some, and then some had them tears of joy and that pain. Somebody said this was the weekend where the SWAC coaches got the monkey off their back. I said, get up out of here, man. It's all good in the hood. Them SWAC schools showed what was up. But we must talk about the quarterback play in the SWAC. Oh, Nelly. Rest in peace, Keith Jackson. I've seen some horrible stuff. Yes, I was at the Perry View and Texas Southern game at the Labor Day Classic. I talk about that game in a week, which I did predict, and I told you who was going to win. All right. I watched every game. I recorded on my Hulu, so I didn't miss not one game. I turned the sound down on a lot of them because I can't stand the commentators. And I got to see for myself that in the SWAC, I can honestly say SWAC was known for dual threat quarterbacks before dual threat quarterbacks became a thing. I'm not saying every coach is trying to make their quarterback not be a dual threat quarterback, but I just think some of these quarterbacks are either looking over their shoulder, or they're afraid to go with their gut instinct, or they want to stick to the play call instead of checking out of some stuff. And it's easy for me to sit here and Monday evening quarterback. Yeah, I got it. I'm not on the field with those 11 guys. I'm not looking at these blitzes. I'm not looking at what the play was called. But when the ball was snapped, I'm looking at the quarterback play, and we got some issues at quarterback. It was only 2 quarterbacks in the SWAC that threw over 200 yards this weekend. Now, if you're supposed to be the preseason offensive player of the year for the SWAC, there's no way you're supposed to throw for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns and get shut out in the second half. Even though you won, and yes, I'm talking about Musa at FAMU. There's no secret to that. I'll get to that game a little bit later on. But I'm keeping it real as possible. We cannot have this type of quarterback play again. Hopefully this was only week 1 and they got those jitters and those jeers up out of there. Now you can get back down there and you can play some hard-nosed football. All right, going through the scores real quick. We had Grambling Hampton, 31-38. Grambling, you found a way to lose that game. You couldn't stop molasses going up a hill. You let Hampton quarterback and running back each rush over 100 yards. Can't do that, brother. The game that I was most disappointed and shocked by was Central State and Mississippi Valley. Mississippi Valley! Valley, you found a way to lose the game. In the last few minutes. My goodness. Now, the game that surprised some, but I said this in my last live that I had recorded and placed on YouTube. You go back and look. I said Alabama State should feel disrespected. Alabama State should have t-shirts saying, "Why not us?" Alabama State beat Southern 10-14, and probably one of the best defensive match of the weekend. Southern, your quarterback. Woof. Let's work on Dr. Blood. That's what I'm gonna start calling your QB if he starts next week. It's Dr. Blood, not Mr. Blood, but Dr. Blood. Dr. Blood need to do some work back there. Now, Alabama State, they came to play. And I told y'all to watch this game. When I went back and watched this game, it came down to defense. You know, throwing these interceptions, like I keep telling people, that team may not score on that interception, but you can flip the field on your opponent. Or you can throw that interception and risk a pick six, or you can take the risk that interception of a long scoring drive. That interception or a fumble hurts. Ain't that right, Jackson State? Now, those were the first three games, and I just want to say what I found most intriguing about Grambling. The quarterback for Grambling, I just do not think that he's getting the amount of respect that he should be getting. And the reason why I'm saying that is, if you look at his numbers and what he was able to do, because his defense wasn't stopping anybody. And I was like, okay, can we please get a stop, Grambling? And it wasn't trickery. It was right up the middle, you know, dives or traps, or it wasn't nothing fantastic about what Hampton was doing. But it seemed like Grambling never made any adjustments. And when you don't make adjustments, and the offensive team that's running the ball down your throat, guess what they're going to do? They're going to keep on doing it. And Grambling just was not able to stop the running game. And I was kind of confused by that. I was like, all right, whatever, man. Coach, you know better. But if you look at the stats, Mr. Miles, that's what I'm going to call him. That young man threw for over 300 yards and 2 touchdowns with no interceptions, 25 for 38. Now his counterpart, the quarterback, only threw for 155, but he ran for 114. So Hampton, hey, you won. You outlasted him. But Grambling, Mr. Miles, you kept your team in the game. Going into halftime, y'all was down 21-0, 21-3, and you somehow brung them back. So 21-9, my bad. That's right. Grambling went for 2 points on their first touchdown. I don't understand this going for 2 stuff, especially on the road. And now if you're at home, I got it. But on the road, come on, man, get that point and go ahead on. Come on, Coach U. And another thing. These classics that are being played not at these stadiums. Salute to NFL Network and ESPN for airing and showing them. But hey, we as Swac fans, we got to do better. We have to come out and support these young men. And I understand this game, this Brick City Classic, was in New Jersey, and from Louisiana to New Jersey, that's a long ride. That's a long plane flight. You know, Hampton is over there in the DC area. They still didn't have, I guarantee you, if it was 15,000 people at this game, I would be shocked. I was kind of embarrassed by that, but I'm not a fan of these classics being played at these far off arenas. But I do like the fact that the NFL Network aired this game. But only way these schools are going to be able to make revenue is by having games on campus and selling out these stadiums. We got to go. Every Wednesday on my show, I will give out 2 tickets to my game of the week. 2 free tickets. If you go into the game and you can promise me, and I'm taking your word, that you will not sell the tickets or try to resell them, that you want to go to, you and your son, you and your wife, you and your daughter, you and your significant other want to go to the game, if you call in and you answer some of these questions that I have, you get these 2 free tickets. This week, I'm giving away 2 tickets to the Boombox Classic. I will be at the game. I will be down there tailgating, but I'm still giving away 2 tickets. I think we as wherever you want to call us, content creators or YouTubers or Swac reporters, unofficial Swac reporters, whatever it is, if you can't expect everybody to watch your YouTube channel and then not expect to send these people to the game, that's just my opinion. We can work on this, and I really do mean this. I watch just about everybody's show. I'm talking, sometimes you have hundreds of people on these shows. You as the creator, give out a ticket, give out 2 tickets, do something. We got to get people in these stands. I was very embarrassed by that, but you know, it is what it is. But moving right along and finish talking about this Gremlin game, the Gremlin running game, they had 100 yards rushing, which was all right. You know, you had 3 different running backs. Now, like I said, Hampton, they had 279 rushing. You know, they ran all over Gremlin. Adjustment. I know Coach, he was a way better coach than that. These D-lines got to get better. This quarterback play, my goodness. That's why I don't understand, Mr. Miles, how you are not player of the week for the Swac. I guess you got to win the game. And if you don't win the game, you won't get player of the week because your stats outshine everybody in the Swac. So if I had a vote, Mr. Miles, quarterback for Gremlin, you would be the Swac offensive player of the week. But I don't have a vote, sir. But it's all good. All right. Now, that was the Gremlin game. All right. This game, Sunday. Oh, my goodness. Woo! What can you really say? What can you really say about the way Jackson State, not only did they fumble the bag, they fumbled the beef, the can, and the hot dog stand. I would have expected this out of Jackson State on week 1 instead of week 2. Week 0 instead of week 1. So what they end up doing, they showed signs of a team that was not practicing special teams. There's no way you take an opening kickoff 90 plus yards and then you turn around and kick the ball to him again. That lets me know the special teams coach was not on top of his game. And I feel bad for the players because they only doing what the coaches instructed them to do. But if you run that ball down my throat 90 yards and I have to punt to you or kick to you again, you might want to go ahead and get it out the stands. And I mean that. There's no way I'm going to kick the ball to you again. But you kept kicking it and he kept running it. And it was ugly. Every time that young man touched the ball, it was ugly. But it goes again. What I was telling people, when you do not have film on somebody, it's a lot harder to coach against them. Now, FAMU, the film is out on you. The film is out on everybody in the SWAC now. Now everybody gonna have a better understanding of your game plan of what you possibly gonna do. Because this game, the score may look ugly, but it really wasn't that bad of a game. But Jackson State, you had 3 huge middle breakdowns, mistakes, And FAMU, by right, you took advantage of those. You went down there and scored 3 touchdowns off those mistakes. Jackson State, your special teams need to be practicing right now. They don't get no barbecue at the Labor Day party. Not now piece. Your punter, your field goal kicker, your holder, the people on special teams learning how to run your lanes. That's basic fundamental football. You got killed on the fundamentals. And when you make mistakes against a team like FAMU, you're going to hurt yourself. And when I say hurt yourself, you hurt yourself in a bad way. Before you know it, it was 21-0. And you did not ever get your head around until the third quarter. Adjustments. It wasn't really the offense that was killing Jackson State. It was the mistakes that Jackson State was making. You had Jeremy Musa. I'll say it again. The Swac preseason offensive player of the year, supposedly. Now, Mr. Musa, I have nothing against you, sir. But all that smiling that you was doing, sir, you was 12 for 22 with 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now, if you're supposed to be the preseason favorite to be the offensive player of the year, I expect twice that of you, sir. I mean that. 150 yards and you played all 4 quarters? Come on, brother. Do better. Now, Mr. Brown for Jackson State. You had 2 left feet in the pocket. Adjustments. You got to call out these blitzes. You the QB, you can see it. Your first pass of the game, sir, I say, okay, Jackson State up in here. But guess what happened, sir? Once they start blitzing you, you didn't do any check downs. All you had to do was throw slants. All you had to do was draw. When you tried to run, you look like an old man moving in quicksand. It just wasn't happening, sir. Adjustments. You got to make adjustments. Now, I don't know if you're going to start this weekend in Southern for the Boombox Classic, but if you do, Southern knows if they blitz you and your wide receivers are trying to run 15, 20 yards down the field, it's not going to happen. You got to hit those check downs. Check downs will save you. Dinking and diving. Dink and dive all the way down the field. Because, Mr. Brown, you only threw for 82 yards. You got pulled in the second half. You 10 for 19. Now Z.Y. McDonald, my bad. You had a pretty decent game. You was 10 for 14, 149 yards with 1 touchdown. Your stats was just right there with Musa. He had 1 more yard and 1 more touchdown than you. So I don't think that FAMU offense as good as they think they are. You got real lucky and you took advantage, rightfully so. You were supposed to. So when people say, oh, FAMU manhandled and blew Jackson State out, no, Jackson State blew themselves. Because in that third and fourth quarter, FAMU offense went away. You cannot FAMU win the SWAC like that. I guarantee you, Alabama State or Texas Southern, if you have to say, if you had to pay a peer review, because FAMU, your secondary was getting torched. One-on-one coverage is not your friend, FAMU. You might want to work on some zone or something, but I understand you blitzing, so everybody got to be in there. And you better watch that blitz because you're going to get a quarterback, somebody like a body that can sit there and run out of there. So, hey, be careful with that. Now, that's all I got to say about that game. Jackson State, adversity hit you. You didn't punch your way up out of here until the fourth quarter, and that's what's not a fumble. So, but you lost. Hold that L, JSU. FAMU, I'm telling you, you better be careful. All right. Moving right along. The game that I was at, Prairie View versus Texas Southern. Now, if you watch my prediction when I put on the Panther mask, I told y'all what was gonna happen. But I was at the game and I didn't expect for it to happen. Now, Mr. Body, your accuracy is gonna hurt you. You got to work on your accuracy. You are a damn good quarterback, young man. Look, you threw for 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and 286 yards. But you was 18 for 38, brother. You was slinging that ball. You missed 3 wide open wide receivers, man. 3. That's probably could have easily been touchdowns. Work on your accuracy. Now, Mr. Crowley, the quarterback for Prairie View, who received Player of the Week, I got no problem with that. Young man was 20 for 33, 275 yards, and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. All right. Mr. Miles at Grambling had a way better game, but he didn't win. You won your game, so I guess that's how the Swac votes. But this game was up and down, up and down, up and down. You know, Prairie View punched y'all in the mouth. Texas Southern showed some fight in that second quarter. That was a good old throwback classic Swac game to me. One team was up and the band was playing. And salute the Texas Southern band for bringing out the chair. They did the Montgomery Brawl reenactment. I enjoyed that. Salute to y'all. But by the end of the half, this score was all tied up 17-17. Then, in that third quarter, it got real hard and heavy there, baby. And I enjoyed that. And it all in the fourth quarter, it was all pointing to Texas Southern winning. And somehow, Prairie View, they clawed their way and they fought back. Adversity hit Prairie View. Prairie View didn't break. Prairie View came with the funk. They did what they needed to do. They scored 10 points in the fourth quarter to send this game to overtime. And then special teams for Texas Southern, your field goal kicker, he needs to be out there right now kicking field goals. Don't give him not damn rib off, not one barbecue grill, not one barbecue grill, not barbecue grill. Don't give him nothing. And Prairie View, when they had opportunity, they ended up winning. And that is great. So if you missed any of those games, these games should be coming back on for I know HBCU Go probably show some because they own the Brian Allen owns all the media rights to Swac football, so it should be rebroadcasting. Now, if for some reason somebody want to challenge me about the quarterback play of the Swac, how horrible it was, besides for a few quarterbacks, I'm willing to discuss it with anybody. And I got a link there. Click the link. You come on in. We can talk about it, or we can sit there and look crazy at each other. So we got to understand that we cannot expect to win anything in outside of the Swac if we only throwing for 150 yards, throwing the ball 20 something times. I hope that makes sense to somebody, because that was just woof. Like I said, it was the first game of the season, and hopefully these young men can get it together. I'm pretty sure a lot of these schools had practice today, and I really hope that they actually went down there and worked. Wide receivers stopped dropping these damn balls. My goodness, it was a lot of drop balls, and it showed. And man, my goodness. But we're gonna get it right pretty soon. All right, moving along. Bethune-Cookman and Memphis. Bethune, at least you pinched them. You know, you pinched them. That was good enough. Down there in Mississippi for the Mud Bowl. Southern Miss and Alcorn State. Alcorn, your quarterback was on corn liquor. He threw the ball to everybody except me, and I don't play for neither team. So it was horrible. You got quarterback issues, Mr. Alcorn. Fix it. Southern Miss, they purposely embarrass you. But same thing with Alcorn and Southern Miss. When you turn the ball over like that, these teams capitalize. You can't throw 2-3 interceptions in a quarter and a half and expect to be winning or be close. You got your butt kicked. There was nothing big, bad, or bold about them Braves. Not this weekend. So, so hopefully, Brother G can get his go down and get his them big bad Braves straight, because they look horrible. Now, this week coming up in the Swac, it's week 2, and something is about to happen at Southern and Baton Rouge for the Boombox Classic. Southern and Jackson State is playing. 2 things is gonna happen. Jackson State will either go 1-2 with 2 Swac losses, or Southern will go 0-2 with 2 Swac losses. So whoever loses this game, you're not out of it, but you can't lose another one. So this Boombox Classic is going to be way more important than you can think of. That's going to be my game of the week. And I will definitely, Wednesday, be giving away 2 tickets to the Boombox Classic. All you got to do is answer some questions. I cash app you the money. You get the tickets. You ain't got to do nothing else. Free of charge, Sarge. No charge at all. But that was my quick Monday evening wrap up. Wednesday, I'll be more back in depth with the Boombox Classic. I wasn't gonna stay on here long. Hey, I'm full of barbecue, and I done drunk me a few cold ones, and I'm feeling good right about now. Now y'all be safe, and if you're traveling on that road, be safe traveling home. Make sure you get to work tomorrow on time. And other than that, y'all have a good evening, and I will holler at y'all tomorrow. I'm out. Peace.